Yes, there's new stuff. I said I'd block all that stuff out. I just got sick of seeing it as well, like all that basement. Let's just call it all that basement. That was just awful. So now I have these. Let me turn the black light off just so you can see the difference. So this is it normally, and with the black light on. Now I do also have a better light, so hopefully this is a bit better. I still have to adjust it a bit. I think it's still a bit. I'm not a lighting specialist. What can I say? But it's a bit better than that really harsh light above. And that arrived as well. As I've said in a few videos, I saw it sit down slinger, that he had it all his slings in a shoe holder rack thing. So now I am going to put labels up, like label them. But now whenever I feel like shooting something, I'll be able to just come up here and yep, okay, that's the one, and pull it out of here. And it's kind of a little bit glowy. It's a little bit bluish because of like the black light. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm getting there to a decent setup. So let's just turn this light off a second. Let's see if that makes it a bit better. That's a little bit. Oh, and no, it's not merch or anything. I just want to get it for me. Because I'm really sad like that and I'm really cheesy. Dad jokes and all stuff like that. I love it. But so first thing, serious thing. Um, so just a shout out to Andy Lowe. Just letting you know, we asked. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I feel comfortable that I probably can. Is that we are all still thinking about you, and we are all hoping that you do get a full recovery. But yeah, we do think of you. I'm pretty sure, like I'm not the only one. But we do have to talk, not about Andy. That bit's done. I'm just reminding people. Um, okay, just to be safe, I did actually wake up this morning and it's just like, I wonder how he's doing. So, um, yeah, I was literally thinking about him. Now, we have to talk about fannies. And now I know that the key thing to talk about here is the difference because I'm a Brit living in Canada. So for me, fanny is just like example one, the fanny pack. Look at that. I just need a cap and then I'm done. So the fanny pack. Now in England, this is called a bum bag, and I think I went over this in a previous video because mainly cyclists would wear it on the bum because when you're sitting on your bike saddle, you don't want it crushing your nuts. So they would call it a bum bag. And if you're really good at riding, I used to mountain bike when I was younger. You could, while you're riding, still reach back, grab stuff, blah blah blah. Now in North America, that's your fanny. So you'd think that people wearing these, and I do realise no one wears them except me, but they are going to make a comeback. I'm telling you, 2025 is the year of the fanny pack. Go get them now. Get ahead of the curve because they're going to be sold out everywhere. But anyway, when people do wear them, they are here. So this leads to a lot of confusion. Why is it called a fanny pack when you don't wear it on the fanny, but you're wearing it on the fanny if you're in England and a woman? Can anyone just help me out with this? Why do you call it a fanny pack, but you don't wear it on the fanny? And see, this is where my brain then just goes into overdrive because then my mind went to, oh, there's such things as female glory holes. Because like for the male glory hole, you know what's going on there, but for a female, does she sort of push herself against the wall a bit, or how does that work? And now you're wondering too, aren't you? But I know that. See, here's another thing that I just thought. Right, so they call it a fanny pack, but of late, and I know it's not necessarily exactly like this, but you see people wearing it like this. Is that a fanny pack? Surely that's a booby pack. I don't know the rules here. Someone's got to help me. I don't make up the craziness. I just point it out to you. It helps that I'm crazy though. See, now I don't know where to put it because it's like it's kind of okay at the front because I can grab ammo, but I'll have to try it, different things. But this t-shirt, shit, absolute shit. There's like no actual t-shirt shape to this thing. I think they just literally got rectangles and sewed rectangles onto it, and like it feels like you should be like this for it to be comfortable. Like that, it fits. As soon as you do this, it feels like everything's getting pulled forward. So quality. But I said I got it for the lols. Most of the things I do is for the lols. Yep, I am rubbing down there a bit too long. I know. Yeah, I've got a whole mixture as well of ammo in here. I've actually got to sort this out. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to use the fanny pack today. Just because I've got to sort it out. There's 8 mil in there, and it feels like maybe 6 mil. And there's possibly I do have 4 mil ball bearings. That's for making whips and things. But yeah, there's just a mixture in there, and it's annoying. But right, let's jump into it. Oh, I've got something else new as well. I was testing this earlier because my kid didn't go to school today. It's like a thing in Canada, so they had the day off, a stat holiday. Um, so I actually got a lunch break, and long story short, I work from home, and my lunch break is used up more for taking my kid to and from school. But um, I did get a lunch break, and I was trying this out at lunchtime, and it does seem to be working. If I jump over to this view, down in that bottom left, and it does work. When I do a hit, a missed, and then I can. The reset isn't working. Oh no, the reset. Right, let me quickly do this and go reset. Let's close that. Let's go just to here, and we want to do hotkeys. Why isn't that showing up? Oh, there it is. So we want that to be E and that to be E. Okay, so let's just try that again. So hit, miss. That's how unrealistic it is. Look how many hits I've done. This is more like it. And then when I go like this, it resets to 0. So I can keep track of how many misses I do. Because let's face it, there's going to be a lot. Maybe, have you thought that maybe, just maybe, I do the misses on purpose? And it's so like all these newcomers, I'm trying to bring people into the sport, you see. So I don't want them seeing all of these people that are so good, and then they're like, "Oh, I'll never be that good," and then they won't start. But if anyone's ever like that, point them to my channel, and they go, "Oh, this guy sucks. I can do better than that," and then they'll start their own channel. Like you see what I do for you guys. I purposefully suck. But the other thing, and on sort of semi-serious note, I know. It says it on my shirt, and I still won't do it. uh, so someone said to me to try and shoot, because I'm looking for different ways, just trying to hone in on that skill. Um, someone said to me, do like what Mark does, that's ATO. And because what I do, I hold the slingshot out and then I draw back to my anchor point. Or someone said, try and do it the other way round and get your anchor point and push forwards. I had kind of noticed. Um, I know Mark does it. I think I might have seen other people doing it. But I'm going to try that to see if that actually makes a difference. And whilst I figure this out, you can try and figure out that whole female glory hole thing. It's a bit low. Just in case you're wondering, while I haven't got my fanny pack on, I got this. I got this from Value Village, which is the what do you call it, like donation store. It's only $6. It's a candle. You're meant to put like, I don't know, maybe it's a little fondue thing. I think the pot's a bit big, but it's got a thing for a tea light, a little candle. But this is really big. It does come off, but it's really big, and I got it because my kid loves, as do I actually, as well, candles and stuff like that. Burny, smelly things. And so I got it for them. And then after we bought it, we were doing a little tour of the, I keep going to say consignment stores, but like the donation thrift. That's the term I was looking for. We was doing a little tour of the thrift stores. And so we got that in the morning and we literally drove to another one, um, like an hour or so. We went home, dropped some stuff off, then we went to another one just to have a look around. Uh, and so after we bought that, there was a lot better one in the second one. So I figured, yeah, I'm not going to take it back. So just because it's $6 and it will cost me $8,348 in gas to drive there for the 10 minutes. So I know Canada's not the only one suffering with that. Right, okay, so the pushing forwards, I did do that on purpose. I noticed, I'm not kidding, like, I was just trying the difference just to make sure I'm not just having a bad day. So let's try this pushing forwards thing a bit more. Oh, the wrap and tuck, I got it to work. So far it's working out. So let's try. Actually, no, because I just drew that. So up, forwards, line the bands up, aim. Okay, I was off on that. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's do my Apex Plus. Now, I was super accurate with this, but I did have to, anyone watching the video from the other day, I did have to band this up again. So I might be a little bit off. Should I put some paper up? Let's try the disc, because I know I can get that. Right, see, so I'm still on target with this Apex. Has anyone done this by these discs? Because I've rewatched my videos, not because I'm a narcissist, but just to see how things are coming out. That's how I knew the audio was off on some of them. Um, but the sound in real life of these discs, I've sent these discs to a couple of people, so I don't know if like, when they've got it, if they try it out. I know one person has received it. They tried it, and they said, "Yeah, it does sound really good when you hit them, but it doesn't do it justice." Trust me, what it sounds like on here, nothing like it. It's so satisfying. So nice. Right, so now that I know I'm on target with this, so let's try the pushing thing. Right, so yeah, straight on target. I'm going to go and check that can. So I think it was a little bit high from where I was aiming. I was aiming pretty much at the center of that, and it hit just below where the can sort of does that at the top. I'm sure that if I went to like one of these factories where they make canned drinks, that there's probably like a proper name for that little angled bevelly bit at the top. There should be a website for weird names, like things that go, oh, that little, like I think one of the jokey ones, and I don't know the name of it, is like the little plastic bit on the end of shoelaces. I remember there is an actual name for that thing. Yeah, see, spot on. I do love this Apex. So I've got another one in the mail. I did order a second one, just because I was stupidly ordering some tubes because I saw Chuckin and that doing their setup with their new tube setup, and I have got excited and wanted to do it, and I do, and then it clicked the other day that I am only shooting 7 meters. I'm going to blast a hole through my basement. Oh man, Calgary sucks. I mean, it's great here. Come visit, especially during the Stampede. Anyone who doesn't know what Stampede is, they claim it's the largest outdoor show on Earth because it goes for 10 days. But basically, if you're into anything cowboyish, then it's basically a 10-day cowboy fest. I'm not sure. I actually think I got that through the centre hole. But yeah, like it's rodeos, the thing where they tie up the cow's legs and chuck wagon race. It's like that for 10 days in Calgary, and it's in July. But about 10 years ago, it got indie subcultures, or whatever you want to call it, it got renamed to Trampede because there was a woman who got caught basically having a threesome in a car park in broad daylight. So Google it at your own risk. Yeah, just Stampede, but do Tramp at the start instead. And there was a little ding there, so I don't know where that hit. I would love a slow motion camera. Get those subscriptions up. I need that YouTube money so I can get me a slow mo camera. I'll have to look back. Is this rear cam? Like, I'll have to look back at the placement. Like, am I standing in front of this camera? Let's see, can I? Because I can move it. Like, I'll figure it out. I'll watch it back later. But yeah, if anyone's got any comments on the placement of this rear one, like, because I could move it somewhere else, but I say this is for me as well. I do look back just to see what is my form like, because I'm sure I'm not the only one. After a while, elbow starts dropping, and And I do have plans as of tomorrow, as it's October. So am a big, I'm a big horror fan, and usually I do a thing, 31 Days of Horror. So every day you watch a horror movie, and there's people that really get into this. Like they'll put up the calendar, and they'll give just rough ideas. Like, uh, let's say the 1st of October will be, they'll just give maybe a word or something like warehouse, and then you've got to try and come up with, like, you get the calendar before October and you try and figure out, okay, what movie can I watch that has a relationship to a warehouse somehow. And I'm pretty good with movies. Like, I sit down and watch movies. Does it show? um, like straight away, I would think Child's Play, the original, because there's the scene where, and I can't remember the character's name, but where he first goes into the doll and he puts his hand on it and does the chant thing, and his soul goes into the doll. Well, that's in a warehouse, like, I guess a stock room, you could say, but that's the fun of it anyway. That you're trying. I could feel that was off. My fingers weren't in the right place. That's what she said. But yeah. Oh, so the plan that I have is I'm going to try and do 31 days of shooting, and one thing I've noticed, and I'm not saying no one does this, because they do. There's a few people that do, but I've noticed that natties don't give the amount of love they deserve. Natties deserve so much more. So one of those natties that Shade sent me, I'm going to use that every day. Now, some videos, it's going to be, this isn't a new idea. I'll openly admit, yeah, I saw Mark done this, ATO, years ago. I can't remember. Was it like he done 21 days, every day shooting? I can't remember the exact thing he done, but I'm just changing it over from like the horror thing um, to a shooting. That's not to say I'm not going to do the horror thing, because I'm one of those people that just loves October. So, like, to me, October is just pure perfection, because number one is it's nice and cool. I'm even when I gained all this weight through COVID and all that, like, that's why I'm trying to drop it now. Um, I overheat very quickly. So, where was I going with this? My brain today. Oh, for October. So October is just that nice temperature. Because in Calgary, like, you still got the blue sky, sunshine, but it's cold. Like this morning was 2 Celsius. So everyone in the States, that's about 34, 35. That's what it was at 8 o'clock in the morning. So, oh, it's so nice. Like, if you're like me and you're hot, and this is what I'm hoping will help me lose the weight, because I can't exercise in summer because I'm just sweating doing nothing. So I can't do exercise because I think I'll just die. Now it's cold, I can actually do stuff because I can exercise, and when I start overheating, I've just got to go outside and I'll cool down in 20, 30 seconds. Realistically, I would cool down because it's really cold out. We still get odd hot days, but Calgary is one of these weird cities because it's deceptive. Now, there's probably people out there and you're in a similar place. But in Calgary, you could be. Well, first of all, I know I've said this. There's weird weather anyway. Like you can get snow in July. It's not common, but it happens. Um, the reverse of that in December, you could have it at -20 Celsius, and all of a sudden it goes up to like +15. It's like just nuts. But what I was going to say is weird is the sunshine because it throws you off. You can look out, be indoors, you can look out that window, and it is bright sunshine, blue sky. Like you'd think you're in Hawaii in midsummer. Like it's that kind of look, bright blue. And you step outside, and your eyeballs freeze. So it's very deceptive. And Calgary, because we're so high up, I believe we're about 3/4 of a mile above sea level. Um, we get weird temperature changes, and the air tends to be thin. I remember when I first moved here. So it's because it's 20 years. Literally in October, it's 20 years that I've been here. Um, since 2004. And I remember it was the Calgary Flames, and they were playing Florida. The Florida Flock of Seagulls, I think their team is called. They've all got the hair. You have to be Gen X to get that one. Or just Google Flock of Seagulls. Banned. Because I better point that out in case anyone Googles Flock of Seagulls and they're just literally looking at a flock of seagulls. When you Google them and you look up the song, as soon as you hear the song they're famous for, you'd be like, ah, yes, I know them. But anyway, like they had Florida in, and I can remember like I didn't get hockey at the time. I still don't. But what would happen every time they would like do a whatever timeout stop and changing players and stuff like that? The Florida players would go off and put oxygen masks on because we're so high up and Florida is pretty much sea level. I think it's like about 2 inches above sea level. Um, so they weren't used to the altitude and the thinner air, so they had to keep going off to get oxygen to keep going. Yeah, this Apex. Oh, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I do have another one coming. Not being dumb, wasteful, but like I love this one. But I wanted a second one because I want it one to get beaten up. I don't want it to get beaten up, but if it does, then it's not as bad because I'll have one good one that maybe I'll put in the car or put in my little EDC pouch at least so that I can use it here or use it. The dog's coming down. What do you want? What do you want? Hey, here he goes. Like he's going to go right in front of the target and then he's going to lay down. This fucker comes down, I'm sure of it, at night because sometimes I come down here and all this blanket is just all pulled off to the side because I've just got an old rug and some blankets there just to soften the floor. What do you want? Nobody likes you. What do you want? Hey, hey. You've been fed and you had. Oh, I know what he wants. I won't say the word because I have to be like, if you're swearing and there's kids around, but if he eats his food, I give him a little while to sort of let that settle, and then he gets a piece of bacon. Now, not the normal. He likes the turkey kind. I don't know if that's probably a thing where everyone is, but like, it's meant to be healthier than the normal BACON. But that's why he's coming down because, yeah, it's 6:50 here. This is about that time when he would be getting his BACON, and because the sun's out and it's nice today, it's quite funny that I'll give him the bit and he'll hold it in his mouth and then he goes outside and he just sits there holding it in his paws and he'll just lick it for ages. I think he's getting all the salt out of it, but then he'll eat it. Sometimes I put it in his mouth and he's just like, oh, and it's gone. So, I mean, he's like a 120-pound staffy pit, so that's why when I got him, there were some people saying, "Are you sure you want to get that kind of dog?" Because my kid has certain issues, and they were like, "Oh, like, you sure?" That dog will not leave her side. Like, from the day I got him, sleeps at her bed. When she's had like a shitty day, that dog will lay right next to her and guard her. And at the time as well, so she was probably, let me see, about 12, something like that, 11, 12, and people are like, are you sure, like, leaving her at home? It's like, who on earth is going to break into my house with a 120-pound staffy pit sitting in the window? Will she be safe? Yes, trust me, she's very safe. Such a good noise. I wish I had a good mic to pick up that sound. I am interested. Has anyone done it? Like, got the discs out? I think I started saying that earlier. As you'll notice, sometimes I start sentences and I drift off to other things. But as Chuckin said in one of his videos, you nailed it, by the way. I do recognise that I ramble, and I do recognise that I just drift off into like different conversations halfway through a sentence. And sometimes, and I don't know if this is just me, and please let me know in the comments. Like, do you do this where you have half the conversation in your head and then you verbally speak out something and everyone's looking at you like, what are you talking about? And it's like, well, I get it. And then you realize, oh, I actually explained everything. I had all the context in my head. I didn't give them the context. That's, oh, while I was holding that just then, I've noticed some people do that. Like when they're loading, I've seen some people like tutorial videos and they say, oh, you've got to load your slingshot like this, like hold it, then put the ammo in, then do that. Does that just feel wrong? Is it just me that's no? Like, I don't know. Just feels wrong to do that. I've only seen one, maybe two people do it, but I mean, each to their own. Like the whole anchor at the corner of the mouth. I'd never done that, and it's not. Oh, I'm not like other sling shooters. I'm going to do something really different. It comes from the archery. Like when I done compound bow archery, I did do the corner of the mouth, but that's because you've got like a peep and it's going to line up. So that gap between your mouth and where you're looking through and through the sight, everything lines up. But when you do like a horse bow, which horse bow, think of a recurve bow, but no shelf, nothing. It is literally a stick. Like there's no guidance or anything. You get to do your own anchor point. And when I was playing around, I found my anchor point to be right here, the little another thing, weird names. It does have a name. I know. I've got a good computer in here. I can actually Google it. Give me a second. But anyway, I got to that anchor point. Not that I'd shoot like that. I would shoot like this because I was a thumb drawer. I would have a glove, just a three-finger glove, and over that to that, or you can get a ring, special ring to put over your thumb so that the string doesn't dig in. But let me because I keep forgetting all the time. This is going to take ages to open because it's going. I'm a computer and I'm already doing lots of recording and video stuff. Right, let's try that instead. Okay, it's going to take ages to open. Let's get a shot. Oh, here we go. Bloody good. No wonder I've got bloody ADD and all over the place. It's computers that do it. Right, so what is the triangle bit of cartilage called near the ear? What is the triangle bit of the cartilage called near the ear? Anatomy of the ear. Right, it is called, and it might say the pronunciation of it, the tragus. Tragus. Tragus, a posterior, slightly inferior. I'm not slightly inferior. Protrusion of skin-covered cartilage anterior to the auditory meatus. The oh, the inferoposterior margin of the tragus forms the anterior wall of the in. Yeah, I give up. It's called the tragus. See, educational. Trying to keep everyone's brains active. You never know. Like, see, you might watch this video tonight or tomorrow, but be tonight because it doesn't matter because I'm recording this. So if you used to watch this on like Friday morning, the word tonight still applies because it would just be tonight Friday for you. Now I'm just screwing with you, Mike. But you never know. Someone may just like knock at your door and you open it up and there's a stranger there and they say, I bet you $1 million you don't know what that little triangle bit is called in front of your ear. $1 million. You're welcome. Or you may go to a glory hole and they say, I'm only going to do the deed if you know the name of that little triangle bit in front of your ear. You never know when it's going to come up. Tragus, it sounds like a name of someone from Game of Thrones, doesn't it? Something fell off. I think it was that can on the left. I've got to figure out. See, I am still figuring things out because those cans, they walk. So I've got to figure out a way of stopping them walking. Now, I know I could put like some sort of peg either side of the little metal clampy thing, but it needs to be able to allow me to easily reload. I wonder. So I could, because those elastics are just on hooks, I could thread it through and then sort of loop it through a couple of times and knot it in place so that metal thing is there, and then just sort of squeeze it, put the cans on, and if I need to replace those, all it is just take that string off, unloop it a couple of times, and put a new one on. Right, you see how I am now with my brain just going into like 10 different directions? Imagine 2:30 in the morning when you're trying to sleep and your brain's going, I wonder what that little triangle thing is called in front of your ears. That is what it's like. When you see those memes, oh, it's exactly what it's like. Your brain just suddenly starts wanting a whole conversation. You know, like when, like if you're dating and they come over and they stay over the night, and then afterwards they want to cuddle and talk. Yeah, that's what the brain is like. It wants to cuddle and talk at 2:30 in the morning about my feelings. You do it does look good, doesn't it? Oh, my ears are shrinking or growing. They're growing. The holes are getting bigger. I guess if you use things a lot, the hole gets bigger. Oh man, this is good for. This is like therapy for me because all this shit that I say, this is all in my head. Plus, this is about 20% of what my brain is doing. So, just so you've got an idea, so just for me to be able to get some of this out of my brain stops me getting arrested. I do want to get a better mic though, because when I'm not recording, I'm amazing. Like you wouldn't believe. No, I'm a lot better when I'm not recording. So, and it could be the one of two things. It's either the recording and I'm distracted because I'm talking a lot and doing all this. Oh, could you imagine me at a tournament? Someone's going to punch me in the face, even if I just turn up, because they're going to be, that mofo is not going to shut up for like 2 days. He's going to want to hug and talk about my feelings. Oh, see, but this is like therapy for me because I'm getting it all out and I'm having fun and I'm torturing you lot with it. Because if my brain's going to come up with all this stuff and inane chat, you need to listen to it too. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Like, I'm not sure about the shoe rack thing. I like it. I actually even like it there. It's kind of closing in this area. Like, this is my little corner because it's laundry and there's other things. Like, this is my little corner to stand in and shoot. I do need to get. I think this camera needs. I do need to sort something out. But like that's the other thing. Like, what I wanted to get. And I do have a few of these, by the way. I just didn't get the one because they're like $10 Canadian, $10 Canadian. So in the US, that's like I don't know a postage stamp. I think. But I got a few because me being me, I want to change them over every now and again. I put this one up, and I know it's you could say a day early, but because of Halloween, and Halloween is my thing. Anyone else into Halloween? And I know this, and I am going to start doing the lives. I've decided I am going to do that. Just because I've been torn, and I know I've said this before, so just a little reiteration that it's the whole. I feel like I'm being rude because I wouldn't be paying attention to people in chat. Um, I can obviously work on that and try and make that better. Maybe set an alarm for like every 30 seconds or something. And I've got a Fitbit, so I know I've got a Fitbit. Believe it or not, it's a fat bit. It actually tells me like when I'm too active, if I'm moving around too much. It says sit down, you fat. But yeah, maybe I need to do a reminder so that I check the chat. Like it's going to be like a muscle training, so I should do it. But then because I'm talking so much, and I don't know, people might be watching this going, "Oh, I wish it was alive, so I could be chatting back and answering back," and that's my bad on that. So that's that clicked about 3:35 this morning. That thought occurred. It does help sometimes. It is good. These thoughts, the crazy brain, it makes me funny, and it does sometimes come out with killer ideas and enlightenment moments of like, oh yeah, damn. So yeah, I keep saying that I want to do things like I do the unboxings because I want to include you and like tilt it towards the camera because I want everyone to share in that experience. And I realised that I'm not doing that because I'm not going live. So I have realised that I'm not perfect. I know, shocker. And the beard, I need to dye that. I'm going to watch uh, Deadpool and Wolverine tonight, but I'm going to put the dye in the beard because I've got a work thing tomorrow, and I want to dye my beard purple just so it's nice and bright so people recognise it. But like, I do software support, and people are used to me. Most people like I've made friends through this. Funny enough, because like this isn't like the software I support is very oil and gas centric. Calgary, think of Dallas, Texas. Like that, that's what Calgary is. This is the Canadian Dallas. It's all about oil and gas here. So the software is specifically, it can be used for other things, but it's specifically oil and gas. So I'll say all, but if I'm not exaggerating when I say 98% of the people that use our software are in one of three places: Calgary, Texas, Denver. So, so I've made good friends like in Calgary. Like I've actually made friends. We hang out. Like but they've come over for barbecues and stuff like that. Thanks COVID for like stopping all that. But yeah, like I used to have them over. Like they know me, they know story. We like whenever they're calling me for help, and they're like asking how the kids are, ask how theirs are, and I know things about them, which I think is good because it's like I guess what to make it more universal. Like I'm assuming everyone's got a car or a vehicle or had a car at some point. It's like that person at the garage you take it to, where yeah, garage, um, where you're going to get it fixed. You take it to that same place because you build up that rapport. It's like, oh, you know the people there. You've got it's that bit more family friendly. Family friendly. I know. I've got it, and I still won't do it. One of the accents, and I know a lot of people in the slingshot community sort of come from those areas like the Georgia, the Tennessee, and all that. I do love those accents, and I don't know if it's just me, but what it is about those, and I'm not just saying just those two, but any, I don't know what you'd call like that kind of accent, um, like the Southern drawl or whatever you want to say it is, but the Tennessee, Georgia, all that kind of those kind of areas. People with those accents, they sound like they want to be your friend. Like if your car broke, just theoretically throwing it out there, your car breaks down, you don't have any tools or anything like that. Let's say you're not mechanically minded and you're pulled over to the side of the road, you put the hood up, or if you're in England, the bonnet. See, I do call it a hood now. I've got used to saying hood, not bonnet. Um, but if someone stops to help and they've got that accent, of like one of those accents, I don't know, you feel like this person knows about cars. They're going to help me get back on the road. And this could be, let me take the shot. I know you're getting tetchy. Let's calm down. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to miss. Oh yeah, I haven't been doing this. Look, let's do. Let's just catch up, shall we? Should we just catch up on this? Let's keep going. Let's get it roughly right. But so when I first arrived as an immigrant in Canada, me and my then wife, no secret, I'm divorced, and like I don't really joke about, but like we get on fine. Um, but we done a road trip, so we started off in Montreal, and we went down. It's been 20 years, so because we was going to go through New York, and then we realised we're going to sit in traffic for about a month in New York. So we went through what's the other state? I think the one with all the tree leaves, Vermont. That's it. So we went down through Vermont and that, and we were meeting friends and that along the way. We've done a big road trip, but we'd bought ourselves a Ford Windstar. It was a mid late '90s Ford Windstar, and that's because like we had all our shit, and we knew we were living in going to live in Calgary, but because neither of us had jobs to get to, like there was no urgency to get here, so we figured, okay, we're going to do this road trip. Went all the way down to New Orleans, went across, and came up. But I believe, and I think Georgia is because that's the state it was. Now we pulled in for gas. It was one of these big gas stations. Like it was in, and of course, to me, coming from England, everything's big in North America. But like this thing was enormous. Like I think it was probably more of a truck stop because there was just trucks everywhere. Cars. It was like fucking Disneyland for trucks. I think. um, but anyway, so we stopped there. We filled up with gas. We went in and was just grabbing some snacks and stuff like that. Came out, went to start the car, just wouldn't start. Went back in and we're like asking, has anyone got like jumper leak? Can anyone help us? I can't. We did have AMA or CAA, which is like your AAA in America, AAA, but CAA, of course, Canadian Automobile Association or whatever it is. And most people just completely ignoring us. Apart from there was this one guy, and I can't say where he's from just because like the accent, but I'm going to say Georgia because had that Georgia kind of accent. He's like, "Oh, you stuck?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I actually run a garage." And we're like, "Oh, but it won't start at all, the van." This guy like pulled the battery out. He had like wire brushes. He's cleaning all the contacts, pulling all the spark plugs out, cleaning them all off, and that. Put it all back together, and like just fixed the van. Like, it was like you just turn the key. It was like it probably started like, up like it was brand new. Couldn't thank this guy enough. Like we gave him some money and said, "Oh, like treat yourself to whatever, some food, pizza, beers, and whatever." Yeah, we gave him a bit of money. I think it was like $40 or $50, something like that at the time, because it would cost us way more to get that thing fixed. And even afterwards, he's like, "Oh, come back to my place. Like we can help. Like I can check it over like properly in my garage because I can get underneath and everything." He'd already like climbed underneath and like checked everything and like above and beyond. But he had that Georgia accent, and it was just like you had that feeling I'm in good hands. So I think that's why I relate those accents to like people that just want to help. Now I know there's good and bad in all, so I'm not saying everyone from Georgia's amazing. Everyone would just help. Like I don't know. Tell me. Like we were only in Georgia for I believe it was Georgia where we were. Um, I believe we was only there a couple of days because we had an itinerary. We'd arranged to be with friends on certain days. That's why it was kind of a bit of a rush because they, of course, taken a day off work because it wasn't always weekends. We were in Delaware to meet one friend, and like she'd taken a couple of days off to like show us around, and we'd gone to Philly, and so she wanted to show us like what a proper Philly cheesesteak was, and so we were kind of on not a tight schedule, but we'd planned it out with gaps. It's like, oh, we can get to this certain point, and we know we've got 2 or 3 days. Like, if we need to really rest, there were some places we stayed in, like Motel 6 or Motel 8, whatever it is, and we just like said, no, we need an extra day just to recharge. But we'd planned for that. But there were certain people that we had to get to on a certain day because they'd taken a day or two off work to show us around. What to miss for this? So we were planning on things. What's that? Yeah, let's go for this. We're gonna go back on the hillbilly. Am I feeling this? No. See, this is what I'm going to put. I don't know, maybe a folded bit of paper, something in here. A megabilly. I'm feeling the megabilly. Oh, I think when I banded this up, I actually put them in upside down. I don't know if this matters. Let me take this shot. Yes, it's nice. But you see, like when I'm pulling back, I've got like the A shape. You see the bands are kind of going like that on the pouch end. I don't know if it makes a difference. I read somewhere like, oh, you should get the V effect. Well, like when you're pulling back, the bands should sort of do this and do a V shape. It's kind of doing, each one is doing like an A. I honestly don't know if that matters. I'm pretty good with this and I like it, the setup. So I'm kind of waiting till the bands snap because they're going to snap at some point. I'm waiting till that happens and then I'll make sure I put them in the right way. All part of the noob thing, like the things that I'm learning. It's actually a bit off. Actually, I may change these bands sooner because like, if I pull just gently on that, you see this left fork, it goes flat against the fork, but this right one, look on the inner one. Let me move it closer. You see how it's up here, so it's not in straight. So I may, because yeah, all I've got to do is flip the bands over the other way. I'll actually have to do that. Right, so let's put that in there. What am I feeling? I'm not sure if I've ever shown anyone this, but this is a natty. I know I've said like a lot of see the awkward forks, the thick and the thin. So I do want to band this up, but this spent years drying. So it does actually feel really nice in the hand, especially for me. Look, you can see how big that is. Like let me, because I know you guys. Look, right, let's hit the apex. Because a lot of people, you've either got an apex or you've seen it. So there's the apex. Look how chunky that thing is. But in my big monster hands, like it fits. I've got another one like this. Is it? Yeah. Right. This is what I want to put labels on, so I put them in the right place. But see, this one is another one. This one's a bit smaller than that one. But I wanted to do. Oh no, it's cracked. I really wanted to do a bark on one, like that come out really nice. Because again, like it's got the smaller and the bigger, but that was cracked. Oh no, that's actually brought me down a little bit. I was looking for, I was going to band that up. I wonder if I can clean that out. I wonder if I can get it in a. No, it's not going to go in a vice. I might try just some wood filler on that. Yeah, I do have another one. Right, I tell you what, I'm going to pause this recording because I've got one that I haven't shown off yet, a natty. Oh, it doesn't have the pause. Right, bear with me. significant still. I've still got the earbuds in. Lucky I didn't say anything really bad, eh? So this, a bit of me wanted to cut it down. So the width of that is 5.5 inches. Let's I could do the calculation normally, but it's like 25 mil for an inch. So 5.5 into so if I banded this up, 140 mil. I so just want to see what it's like. Like it does need a little bit of work, like maybe just some sandpaper. I have no like tools. I would love to, but yeah, it's just I shoot in the basement because I'm lack of space. But I'm gonna get a bit of sandpaper, sand it, just get these forks. 140. Has anyone ever shot 140 mil? Like, and I can do it. Look at that with a brace grip. That's, I guess that's not. Yeah, you can do pinch, but look, I can brace that at 140 mil. When I say I've got big monster hands, I have big monster hands. 140 mil, and I can brace grip that. But look, I could. I need to get that. This is why I love natties. I've got no idea what's going to happen when I shoot this, but it's solid. It's like that has been drying out for at least 6 years. And look, and if I come up like some of the pattern in there, look at that. This is why I couldn't trim it down. Look at like that is just gorgeous. So yeah, there's that one. That one can go in a pocket. Oh, but that's what I started saying. Rogaroo. No, I didn't start saying Rogaroo. Let's do the Rogaroo. Um, so for October, not only am I going to do like try and do the horror movie thing because life always gets in the way. John Lennon. I know everyone's seen it or heard it. Life is what happens when you make other plans, and definitely that's why sometimes I don't make the lives. In honesty, it's about 20% of the time, 25% of the time is because there's just shit going down and I can't get to a computer or something. Sometimes I've just like opened it up and then it's like shit happens and just got to dash away. Nothing special about me. Like everyone gets that. 70%, whatever, 75% is I just don't get notified. It's pure luck. So if I've been working and all stuff like that, and then I have to, I sit down and then it could be like, oh, I'm just going to put a TV show on or a movie or something. If I don't get notified, I'm just going to keep watching that movie, and then I don't see until like a few hours later. Like maybe when I'm laying in bed and I go to my subscriptions, it's like, oh, these people went live. I didn't even see. So yeah, if I'm not turning up at lives, it's one of those. More likely, um, I haven't seen the alert for it. But there are times when, yeah, just life just doesn't let me do that. That's nice. This is another one. I'm getting better. I'm still waiting on you, Ethan. You said you was going to teach me how to do this properly. I'm getting better, but I wouldn't say I'm good. I'm getting more confident with it. I think what I was doing wrong before, especially on the hillbillies, and this isn't anything bad about the hillbillies, but the groove, what I was doing like 2 or 3 raps of the band, then putting the band over that, then doing about 3 raps, then folding it up, and then doing 2 raps, and like there was just so much there, so much bulk when I pulled, and I obviously didn't do it properly, and it because the elastic wasn't settled in to the groove. It was like out here. So it's just popped out. So I've done a lot less on this. I don't do that first wrap. I'm just literally putting the band on straight away, wrap twice, fold the flap up, wrap twice, put my little tool on, wrap twice, thread it and pull it through. So about 6 wraps all in all. 2, fold flap, 2. So 2 over the band, fold the flap up, 2 over the flap, put the tool on, 2 over the tool, pull it through. That's what I've got so far. This so far is holding up. Still a little bit nervous with it. Yeah, see, that's nice, the Rougarou. I know I said I wouldn't mention the frame. It's like the Voldemort frame to me. That does not have a place in here. That is staying in that drawer. That's it. How many frames have I got now? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I didn't even realise I've got that many. I mean, some of that is thanks to Shades, because he sent me a few natties, because where I've chatted with him, and I know I've said in these videos, I love natties. So yeah, that's thanks to him. Oh, I've got another one upstairs. So whatever I said, add one on that. How many frames have I got? Let's clear that. I just added that counter just for fun because I found out you can do it. So it's like, oh, I'm going to do that. But look how often I forget shit. As if I'm going to remember to push a button on every shot. So, I knew that was off. Have you ever taken the shot, like you've got it lined up, you're aiming, and you move or do something, and you know you're about to do it, or you know you do it, but you just let go anyway, which is bad, because in archery that's kind of frowned upon. If you feel that no moment, relax, bring it down, start over again. Oh, and I've been forgetting to do the push forward thing. I'm not saying it's bad, like to go for anyone trying. It doesn't come naturally to do that. Like if I see, it just feels wrong. Each to their own though. I'm sure like people are looking at me going, "Oh, I couldn't do that," and why are you doing it that way? Out of interest, has anyone tried a different anchor point? Like, have you tried at the ear? I'm intrigued because most people, most short draw, do corner of the mouth. Like if you're long draw, you're floating out here somewhere. Um, but short draw go corner of the mouth. If I hate to say the word, and it's because I heard it in a TV show recently, but does it give you the ick if you go up to like your ear? See, I find them more accurate. So if I do that, it just feels wrong. Yeah, see, way off, way off. So I just tried that corner of the mouth. I was aiming at the can. I hit those flippers at the top. That's like 3/4 of a foot. Like it's probably 12 inches off. Like completely no. I get it. Like there are people out there that are better than me, miles better that are using that. But I've tried. I tried the corner of the mouth thing. It just feels wrong. Just everything about it is screaming no. Like, and this might not apply to many people, but like, when you go on a date and your date brings their ex along, and you kind of get that, something not right here. That's what it feels like to me. to the ear. See, straight on the can. It feels right to be there. And what my brain says is, because if I'm here, I'm going to be like, it's naturally going to go upwards. Let's have a look. I'm going to try and do it as best I can, but if I'm like this and I draw here, so if I do that, that's kind of spot on. And if I do that, that's odd. That actually looks weird because I thought I was going with my eye and it was just going straight through. But just then, I'll do it. I'll like, aim at the can. It looked like I'm going, obviously an exaggeration. It looks like it's slanting down. So, what's the time on this? 1 hour. Wow, 1 hour and 11 minutes of just talking complete trash. But right, so if I do it, I just put ammo in. I wasn't gonna, so I might still take the shot, but let's put ammo in just so I get a good grip on the pouch. I want to see if I do it properly. Is it angling downwards when I? So, oh, that's off. That felt wrong. Right, so up to the ear, lined up. That that is my on point. Now I was obviously talking and stuff, so didn't quite work out the way I wanted. But let's try and actually hit that can with this. So we're going up to the ear, we're lining up the bands, we've got the corner on. Right, so I've got to have a look back at that later. But what I'm going to do now is corner of the mouth, aiming at the bottom of that can. Corner of the mouth. I have no idea where that even went. Didn't even brush the can. Can didn't even move with like the wind. Like, so it has to be way off. See, like if I go for that disc, bringing it up to the ear. And that's just my sweet spot, obviously. That's just the way it is. And I did find it with archery as well. Back when I'd done archery, my accuracy like went when I started doing the ear anchor. It was like they used to have at the archery range where I went. They'd put the target up and they'd have like little pin and it had like the key ring, like little key ring loop on it, just so you could get your finger in and pull them out easily. It was actually a really good idea. But what I used to be like, okay. But when I got to the horse boat and I moved my anchor point up to my ear, I was shooting through rings like that. Uh, 3 times, I would say somewhere about 20 meters. And I was going through key rings like that without issue. Like it was night and day. He says and misses. No, this is good. I am getting a bit hot. This t-shirt is polystyrene. Polystyrene. Yeah, I'm getting tired now. Polyester. Let me just send this. And I'm going to just probably do a few more. Yeah, as of tomorrow, I'm going to start doing lives. And they may be just quick if things are going awry. But I'm going to try and do a live every day. But I'm sticking to one. That's all I'm going to shoot is just one frame. And it's going to be a natty. Every day is going to be that natty for 31 days. So sorry if I never got to that point, but yeah, I think I'm starting to get tired out. Now, I know what one it's going to be, but I'm not going to tell you. Because if I tell you, then you won't watch the videos, will you? Because you'll be like, I know exactly what one he's going to be shooting, and I'm not going to watch that. Then you're going to have to watch it. And when you turn on that video for the live, because it's going to be in your head, you're going to be like, which one is it? He's only got a few now. Did he? Oh, is it that 140 mil one? I need to see what that. It's going to be that little seed in your voice, that little voice in your head, like saying things, and you know that once you like just get on it, there's going to be hilarity or something, and then you'll just be hooked, and you won't be able to leave. I'm getting along the top of that can. Right, I'm not quitting yet. I saw you. I saw you. You was about to close the video, weren't you? Not yet. Not yet. You're premature. See, I'm just swapping them around. This might be a nightmare because if I label these, as I take one, I'm going to put the old one back in. I've got to get disciplined of actually putting them back in their correct slots. I think I need the apex to get this can cut. See, I've got it. Just grazing it at the edge. Just remember, quitters never lose. Yeah, think about that one. Is it the same for everyone else? Like if you're can cutting, it's that last little thread. The last little bit that it's holding on by is the hardest. I'm missing it now. Oh, the other thing, I, I explained the live thing. The shorts, I hate shorts. I actually have them filtered out. If I'm at my computer, I don't any computer of mine or device of mine. YouTube doesn't even show the shorts. I filter it all out. I can't do it. Can't do the shorts because I feel like I'm watching TikTok. And if I ever watch TikTok, I will want to blow my brains out. So that's why I can't do the short. If I do a short, it's going to be an accident. It will be something like that I do a live and it's just not going right. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the end of it. And it's whatever the time frame limit thing is that classifies it as a short. That is the only way I will do a short by an accident because I hate them. But the reason is because, and I know we live in a society now where everyone's got the attention span of something with a very short attention span. A pole, a swing nerd. uh, um, but if I'm going to sit down and watch something, I like to sit down and watch it, and I find I'm not satisfied by shorts. I have sometimes I do see them, like if I'm on my work computer, and if I'm at work, I've usually got headphones on and working away. Um, but that has the shorts in it because I can't do the stuff I do at home. I can't do on my work computer. to block it all, so I do see the shorts. So yeah, I get it. I get where they are, but I like to sit down and watch a full video. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. Brushing it. How thin is this bit that it's holding on by? Jeez. It is like tiny, the bit that it's holding on by. I think the fact that it's hooked onto that red curtain is even helping it hold on. See, and to be honest, some of this didn't turn out the way I wanted it. Like, I was hoping the reason of all this camera that I could just like look here and see, and I can see fairly well. But I don't know, like that's only a 1080p camera. This one's 4K. This one's another 1080. So I can see the difference. Like, and I think the lighting helps as well. Break you. See, I think as well, that's why I stopped to ramble. Because those people that do like they'll shoot like amazingly, and then they're having a break because they're sort of checking the chat. Because I'm not checking the chat and stuff like that. I'm kind of fairly consistently shooting, so I think I just get tired out. I don't have OCD or anything like that, so I'm not like I have to cut the can, else the world will end. Nothing like that. I'm very happy to recognise and say, "Yep, I'm tired." Walk away from it because I think I'm getting that way now. Though polystyrene, I did have polystyrene. As you can see, just below the target box, catch box, there are 3 bits of polystyrene. I did clear out lots of stuff and I got rid of tons of that. Those 3 bits then we go round the back of the catch box. Now, it's not going through, but I'm just sort of thinking, just in case ever, there's just that extra bit of padding. It was going to go in the garbage anyway. So I figured those 3 bits fit perfectly. I just got to get around to doing it. I knew I was off on that one. But I am probably going to call it quits if I don't cut it soon, just because I am getting dehydrated and tired. Will you just break? That sounded a bit like a country song. Will you just break that bloody can? Although country singer wouldn't say bloody, that's very much Australian or British thing. That damn can, will you just break and split in half like my heart is. Oh man. Now, did you see? This is about 40% of what my brain actually says. I think the song might have worked. There's a little bit of me that wants to put like 3 balls in here. What's a man to do with 3 balls in his pouch? I know it would go horribly wrong, but I wonder if Hillbilly. I wonder if he plays like harmonica or mouth organ, whatever you call it. Like, I need someone to do like a whole banjo kind of thing, and then I can come up with lyrics for the Cutting Can song. #1 on iTunes, so Spotify. One thing I did notice on Sunday that ATO's videos go for about 3 hours, and it clicked. That's about the same length of time as a Joe Rogan podcast. Oh, podcasts! I know one of the things I think of. I think I'm just getting too tired now. I'm completely missing that thing. One of the just spreading the information, just in case no one's heard of it and not aware of it. I'm very much into first thing was horror and stand-up comedy. And I don't know if people already are kind of guessing which podcast I'm going to mention that I love and watch is Kill Tony. So if you haven't seen, if you like stand-up comedy and you haven't seen it, it is so good. It's Tony Hinchcliffe, who is a great comedian, and if you don't know much about comedy, I'm sure you do, but the term to kill in comedy means you've done amazing. Like you killed out there is like best show ever. So what the challenge is people will sign up and he will give them 1 minute on stage to do a set. And the idea is to make him laugh. They have guests, just saying Joe Rogan was on there a few months ago and he has all these other big comedians. But they judge them. And there's people that have got like full on sets and now become really famous comedians because if you look at comedy clubs, you'll see people that come in, scroll down, look through their bios, and you'll see they were on Kill Tony at some point. But it's so good because like if they're good, he like praises them and he'll help their career. If they're shit, he tells them they're shit. But it's never kind of in a mean way. I mean, it is, but it's a comedian mean way. Like they're busting each other's balls. I can't do a New York busting balls. They're busting balls. But yeah, if you like comedy, it's a good podcast to just listen to. They do it once a week normally, but there are some, and like there's some you just like sit there and you're like, just yeah, this isn't funny, and you can tell it's not just you. Like the whole audience is like quiet. There's crickets, but then there's some that just come out and kill from the first joke. They're like on the ball. I mean, effectively, I have cut a can already. I did cut that other one, but this one it will haunt me. Like this thing will haunt me. It will haunt you. Look, that is good. So, oh, that's my alarm. There we go. Thank yeah. Right, let's put this away in my nice new holder. So I am going to put labels on them and try it to be good. Yeah, I have all switches for these lights. I can turn them off. See, like if that does look good. I do really like it. So if I turn it off, oh, you can't really see it, but that really glows. But hour and a half. I'm gonna go and watch Deadpool now and have a cold drink because I'm hot. And I don't believe that I said fuck.